Eagler.
All right, our next guest, Jason Kelce, seen just about it all in his career as an NFL player with the Eagles. Big wins, big losses, close games. This was not a close one. This was a manhandling, and hate to say it, but for more on that and the perspective up ahead on the Dallas Cowboys, we welcome the Eagles Star Center, Jason Kelce. How you doing, Jason?
How you doing, Joe?
Good, pal. So, Jason, what the heck happened out there the other day? How do you explain such an rough afternoon for you guys?
We got beat in all three phases. I think, obviously, the defense is getting absolutely crushed. And they didn't play up to the standard or anywhere close to it on their end. Offensively, we weren't good enough either. I mean, I think we haven't been consistent really enough all season, and circumstances of the game and how it unfolded really showed that we need to get those things fixed. I mean, offensively, we need to be more consistent. We need to have more consistent drives. Defensively, we've got to be smarter. We've got to play better. I think we got beat. We got beat by a really good team, and we already made the corrections on Monday from a lot of the tape, and we're looking forward to going out here and working to get these things fixed and get better for this coming week. I mean, the thing that I can, and I know that maybe the rest of the fan base doesn't feel this, but I still feel like we have great players. I really do. I feel like we have great players. I know we have great coaches. So to me, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If we put our minds to it and everybody really dedicates themselves to fixing their areas of where we're struggling. I didn't see, watching the tape, a team getting manhandled. It might look like that, and the score looks like that. I saw a team that, gave up a lot of big plays on defense, didn't stop the run the way we usually do. I saw an offense that is not putting together consistent drives, but we have a great offensive line. We have a great defensive line. We have great receivers. We have great secondary players who have been great in this league. We have great coaches. We have a great quarterback. I'm not, I firmly am optimistic that we will play better than we did this past week. And I think, I'm looking forward to proving that.
Jason, why is the team struggling to run the ball?
Yeah.
For a bunch of weeks? Because I agree with you, there are great players, but the running obviously hasn't been plentiful in that there haven't been a ton of called runs. But when they are called runs, it hasn't been particularly effective. Why?
Well, I think this past week, quite frankly, I didn't get it done on a couple of these run plays. I had a pull block early where Greenlaw butted me, kind of got had to pull a little bit deeper because of some penetration, and I didn't stick the block the way I usually do. There was a toss crack that would have been a huge explosive run on, I think, our third drive, where the safety backdoored me, got too far out in front of it. There's a wham play that, let's see, with the safety just kind of snuck in there at the end and made the tackle. That's a huge play if that pops out. I mean, there's a lot of plays that are close to hitting, and we're just not quite executing at the level that we have in the past and that we need to as a unit.
Do you think that's evidence that you guys needed this loss? Like, is this a good thing? Did you need a reality check?
Well, I mean, I think things are always looked differently after a loss. We've been making corrections. We've known that we've had to fix things throughout the 10-1 start. It's not like we're in here and we're all good. Like, that's not the case, right? We're always trying to make corrections. But I do think after losses, in particular the way we lost, that I think, the lens is looked at entirely differently from everybody's perspective. You know, you just lost again. Not only did you lose, you got it handed to you. So, you know, I think everybody in that building is firmly aware of what we need to do to get better and constantly talking and trying to figure out how we can get things better. Like, it's just a different vibe in the building. There's a little bit more anxiety. And I talked about this after the Jets game. You know, whenever there's a loss, there's just a different feel in the building, especially in Philadelphia, because you're going to hear it. You know, it's not like you're going to lose and just be able to, you know, tune it out. No, not in this city. So it forces you to have conversations, to talk to your teammates, to talk to your coaches, to really iron out what's happening.
Did San Francisco beat us at our own game on Sunday? Did they beat us in the trenches in that game?
I can't speak for the defensive line. I can't speak for offensive line. I think it was really close to being an outstanding day for the offensive line, if I'm being honest with you. I think pass blocking wise it was. I mean, we did a great job of pass blocking. I'm not going to lie on that regard. I thought we had a good plan coming in, and I think we executed at a high level. I think from a run perspective, it wasn't good enough. But I don't think it was guys just getting flat out crushed in the run game, which is a reason why it didn't work. I think that we could have run the ball on those guys. I do. Now, they played great. I'm not trying to discredit San Francisco. They have great players. There's, like, you know, they made plays. But I think that, you know, I think that we could have played better. There's no doubt. But I'm not going to say that we got killed as an offensive line. That's not the thing I saw on tape. I think we can help our defense out, in particular our defensive line. Like, these guys have played a lot of plays, and we got some big boys. Jordan Davis, dude. I mean, this guy's playing a lot. I know he's young. He's playing a lot of plays. Jalen Carter's playing a lot of plays. You know, Fletcher Cox is playing a lot of plays.
Yeah.
That's hard as a defensive lineman when your snap count gets high to attack and have that same type of intensity that those guys play the game with. Like, we don't play a lateral type of defensive line play. We play an attack, in-your-face, explosive defensive style. They played 95 snaps against the Buffalo Bills and then came back, and they started the game out good with that intensity and really shutting down the first two drives. Obviously, from there on, it was terrible. But you could feel, I think, as the game went, that, I mean, it's a lot of plays for a defense to be on the field.
Sure.
And part of it's them getting off the field on third down, no question about it. But part of it as an offense is us sustaining drives and running the football when we can and taking time off the clock and doing all these things that help them and give them some freshness on the sideline, I think.
Well, Dallas, they've won 14 straight games at home. It doesn't get easier, Jason. How tough a place to play is it down there?
It's really tough. I mean, when they first built Jerry World, we had some success there early, but since the last 7-8 years, we have not won in Dallas. So they're good in Dallas. They have a great team. Good quarterback, good defense, good offensive line. You know, it's not going to be. It's another difficult game, but you know, this is what you look forward to if you want to be the team that you are trying to prove you are. You know what I mean? And
yes.
You know, we didn't play to our standard against San Francisco. What a great opportunity to play one of the best teams in the NFL and go out there and reaffirm it this week. And, you know, it's never easy against great teams. It's never easy against the top teams in the league. It's always going to be rough. You know, last week was not at all indicative of who we want to be as a football team. But, you know, it's one of the beauties of the NFL is you get to go out there the next week.
Well, Jason, I'm struck, you know, as you're talking about another great team to play against. This is where you guys in 2017 lost to Seattle convincingly. Now, not as rough as the San Fran game, but convincingly. And went out the next week and beat the Rams, who were, probably one of the 5 or 6 best teams in pro football that year. So you got that in your back pocket. Obviously, that was a game we all know Carson got injured, but it was still an incredibly impressive win the way you guys got it. And good luck on Sunday night. It's a big one, Jason. We'll be watching and listening and appreciate your time here today. Thanks, my man.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
You got
Thanks,
it, man.
Jason
Kelce. I mean, that was a big win. See, that's the thing. Because the Eagles, Carson got injured that day, we almost kind of forget the magnitude of that win when they beat the Rams, because the 1 seed was also hanging in the balance. The Rams were one of the teams knocking on the door for that 1 seed. And the Eagles winning that game, are you kidding me? That was big time. Now, it doesn't mean the Eagles are going to win this week. They certainly got a legit shot. Always great having Jason on the show.